Game development always sounds fun. It allows our dreams to come true and take part in creating something that we all played in our childhood or even now, which is games. This does sound really fun, but trust me, as a game developer with 5 years of experience, I can tell you that game dev is not what it looks like on the surface. If you're enjoying content like this, subscribe to the channel. And firstly, this might sound weird, but as a game developer, you're not spending a lot of time making games. Most of the time, you end up doing other tasks that are not directly related to the creation of the game. This is usually things like debugging code, optimizing performance, and doing administrative duties. What ends up happening is that you spend a lot of time on all these little things, and this takes time away from what you actually love to do, which is creating games. You might say that this is related to big games like AAA titles, but no, even simple games could take as long as a year or two to complete, and all of them have these little things that you must do no matter whether you like it or not. This is usually very discouraging to newcomers because you want to take part in the creative process of creating a game, thinking of levels, design, mechanics, and so on, but you end up spending your time on doing other things. And this could be very challenging in the beginning. And I don't want to make it sound bad, I personally enjoy doing some of those little things, but you just need to be aware that you have to do that. The second thing that you must be aware of is the lack of focus and multitasking. Game development requires expertise in various areas, including programming, modeling, art, design, sound, and many more. For example, for indie developers, they have to juggle a lot of different things at the same time because they have limited resources. Not only this is challenging, but it's also very stressful. And if you're not good at all those little things, you can end up building a bad product. It's been already proven that multitasking is not a great approach when it comes to productivity, but in game development, that's exactly what you're gonna have to do. Because of this, indie game development is very hard and stressful, and if you are a beginner game developer, I would suggest you to find a job position in a bigger company where all the role, tasks, and processes are already set up. The next point is very important, and this is one of the issues that I had personally myself, is that you need to really love making games in order to be a good game developer. Like I said before, game development has many different aspects to it, and all of it you're gonna have to manage on your own. And without the deep passion for creating games, it will be practically impossible for you to stay in the field for a very long time, and you will just end up burning out. So my advice is to go into game development if you really enjoy games themselves. If you don't play them on a regular basis, this is probably not the right field for you. The next point is something that I've struggled a lot myself, and that is the unclear career path. In this industry, it is very hard to understand what type of position you will have next and how you will grow throughout your career path. Of course, there's a general structure, which are junior, middle, senior developers, then team leads, then maybe architects. But what's next? What's after that? In small studios, like we've already discussed before, you will be doing a lot of various things, and what ends up happening is that you not specialize in any particular area. Because of this, it is very hard for yourself to determine in which direction you want to move and how you want to specialize in your field. It is also very hard to transition from one company to another because the job responsibilities vary so much. With bigger companies, it becomes a little bit easier to choose the exact career path that you want to follow, but once again, there are so many options and it's very hard to pick what's the right fit for yourself. Also, I want to add that the market for game development in terms of open job positions is much lower than, say, backend or frontend. For example, from my own research, the demand for game developers in terms of open job positions in America, Europe, and Asia is on average 10 times lower than it is, say, for backend. I'm saying this because stability might be an important factor for you, and therefore game development might not be the best option. And this perfectly transitions into the next point, which is financial uncertainty. Not only are there less open positions for game developers on the market, but the spread in terms of salary is ridiculous. Because most of the game developers have a unique set of skills that they acquired on a certain job position, it's very hard for them to pinpoint the exact perfect next position for them to transition. In many cases, each job position for a game developer has a lot of different sets of skills that are required for you to apply to it, and because of that, that also directly affects the salary. It could be very low or it can be very big. Because of this, finding the next job becomes a real challenge, and in many cases, you would have to conduct way more interviews than you would in any other field. Also, in general, I would say that markets for game developers are very volatile. This is because game development market is very sensitive to different factors. One day you might have a big budget and a lot of projects coming up, and the other day you might have none. Therefore, be aware that stability is definitely not the best aspect of game development. So there you have it. Game development field could be really fun if you enjoy making games, but you need to be realistic about your expectations. Be aware of the fact that you will not be creating games all the time, that you will have to multitask a lot, and about the financial instability of the market. Take time to analyze the advantages and disadvantages of game development field and figure out if this is the right path that you want to follow. But that's it for today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like. If you want me to discuss other topics, make sure to leave them in the comments. Have a good day and see you.